Hello, guys! Mike Goldstein, Easy Dating Coach. I am so freaking excited. Today is like the best day of my life. Johnny and Lara are here. And you know why I'm so excited? I have been following them. They don't know this. It's a little creepy, but for 4 years. And I've been reading your stuff, watching your videos. And this is like, oh, this is the best day ever. I finally get to interview you. And, oh, this is going to be amazing. Can you guys say hi real quick?
Hey, we're so happy to be here, Mike, and everyone. We're so happy to be here with you.
Yes, thanks for having us.
Oh, this is amazing. Look how good they look, and they're here. Yes. Whoa. Okay, guys, we're going to hop right into it. We don't have any time to waste. So talk to me. How do you know if a guy is the right guy?
Woo, that's I love that question, diving right in. Okay,
yeah, definitely.
How do you know if the guy's the right guy? Well, number one, he doesn't disappear on you. How about that? Number one. Another thing is that you actually look at his character. Does he do what he says he's going to do? If he says he's going to call you, he calls you. If he says he's going to text you, he texts you. How do you know if the guy is the right guy? Are your values in alignment? Because I'm talking, when you say the right guy, I'm kind of meaning, how I interpret that is the guy that you want to be with for like the rest of your life. Like you want to marry him, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to know that his character is in place. Like he's got really high integrity. He does what he says he's going to do. He treats people around him with respect. So when you go out to dinner, he doesn't treat the waitress like she's some sort of servant. He's kind to her. He says thank you when she fills up his water, his water glass, simple things like that.
Especially people that can't do anything for him.
Yeah.
So, someone opens the door. So he's never going to see him again. So you're going to discover little things about him by seeing how he treats people who can't do anything.
Yeah, like the janitor, a janitor or somebody cleaning up around that's not doing anything for him in particular. Does he treat him with respect? Does he just say, hey, how's it going? Nice weather today. Or is he just a kind person all around? That tells you a lot about him. Then when you're actually looking about, well, do I want to be with him for the rest of my life? Is he actually, does his values align with your values? Like, what are you going for? Will that align up? Now, sometimes I know in all relationships, there is some compromise that does have to happen. But can you both compromise in a way that makes you still feel good about the situation? And that's the real question, right? So, because nobody's going to be perfect. This is very important. This is something that we definitely teach a lot of our clients is like, realize that the right guy for you is going to be just as imperfect as you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to ask you the most advanced question ever.
Advanced questions.
Woo!
Great. We love that.
Bonus round early. All right. So if you just talked about like a guy disappearing, that's not good. That means he's not the right guy. But our good friend John Gray always talks about a man needing his man cave. So he kind of disappears into that and then comes back like a rubber band. So what is the time frame where disappearing versus man cave, like when does he then get access to the man cave, if you will? Does that make sense, that question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, when we, John actually spoke on our stage a few years ago, and one of the things that we talked about, he talked about and we talked about is different aspects of that. And it's when the person disappears with when the guy disappears with no indication that that's what's happening, then it's like, what the heck happened to you? So you need some time by yourself. I need some time by myself. You need some time by yourself. That's a different thing than just like poof, ghosting, Mm-hmm. So if you're dating and it's just like, hey, sweetie or honey or whatever, your name is Janet or something. I have this big project going on. So for the next 3 days, I'm just going to be working on this thing. But, something like that. That's great communication. It's just like this, what it has to happen. Or I'm doing a camping weekend with the guys. So you're not going to hear from me till I come back and recover on Tuesday, something like that. That's different than just poof, ghosting, right? That's a whole different thing. When he just disappears like that, you just thank your lucky stars that
Yes.
you invest more time in that, because if he's doing it now, it's like a job interview. If the person is not giving you their best on the job interview, oh my God, how's that going to be in the actual working environment, right? So it's the same thing on dating. You're expecting that the person is trying their best, right? Showing you their best. And so if that's what he's doing when he's at his best, what's it going to be like when you're actually in a relationship with him? It's going to go downhill from there. Yeah.
That was awesome. I love how you talk about the interview, and then if he's doing a junky job now, it's only going to get worse. So get rid of him.
Yes.
Hold that boundary. Hold that line of what you want.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That is great advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So we've got a guy that may disappear, but now we've got a guy. You're going on some dates. How do we get the guy to commit?
Well, okay, so there's a couple of things about that. First of all, when you think about getting a guy to do something, right there, the mindset is that you're going to kind of have to pull something out of him. You're going to have to make something happen. And in the masculine-feminine dynamic, that, as a woman, is going to make you feel exhausted, because whatever you're doing now, you're setting the stage for a whole lifetime of a relationship. So if you have to pull this string and do that and get him to do this and get him to do that.
That's called manipulation.
You're going to be doing that the rest of your life, and you're going to be tired.
Yeah.
So
and overwhelmed and wondering why you're so pissed and resentful.
yeah.
Not
So
cool.
the thing is to create such a space where you're activating his masculinity, where he wants to commit to you and only you, and he feels like you're the prize. Because unfortunately, we live in a society where women, you're encouraged to think of him as the prize. Like, that's crazy. He's not the prize. If you think of him as the prize and you kind of go out and try to get him or twist and do things, you're going to be doing that forever, and he's not going to have his masculinity activated, right? Guys like to do stuff. We like to win, get points.
It's so hot.
Storm
too.
the castle.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Right? We want to slay the dragons, stuff like that. And so you don't want to get him to do anything. You want to inspire him to be the best man. And this is what Laura did. This is what we help our clients with. I'm sure that what you do with your clients is how do you be that place where that man says, oh my God, I have got to be with her and only her. And that doesn't come from trying to get him to do anything. And if he's not committing, it's because he doesn't want to. Because guys pretty much do what they want to do.
Yep.
And so if he's not committing to you, it's because he don't want to. Either because you're not the right person, or he's not the right person, or both, or whatever. But if he's not committing, it's because he doesn't really want to commit to you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Laura,
Yes.
let me play devil's advocate.
Ooh, okay.
90 days of dating. You've been going on dates at least once a week for 90 days, and he has not brought up exclusivity at all. And like you guys said, we don't want to pull him into it. It's not going to work. What should a woman do at that point at 90 days?
Well, so 90 days. Well, that really just depends on how thrilled I am with him. Probably if I've been dating him for 3 months and we've been doing once a week and there's no exclusivity, probably I'm feeling pretty close to the way he's feeling. This is just not going anywhere. So for me, how Johnny and I, when we first met, it was boom, 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 boom. We knew we were clicking left and right, and there was no time limit on it, but within 3 weeks we were in love and planning our wedding. That's and because we had invested, especially me, I had invested a lot of time and energy and resources in doing that kind of inner work to become my own soulmate first. That's what we say, is become your own soulmate first. So that's what I had been doing to prepare myself. So by the time I met Johnny, click, 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 click. So if it's not clicking after 90 days, it's not clicking for either one of us. And that's okay.
What we say is you want to either see a slow or a go, but you want to be seeing progress. You want to feel progress.
Exactly.
And how you feel in the relationship is important. Do you feel that he's devoted to you, cherishing you? Do you feel like he's excited to be with you? Are you excited to be with him? We have a whole system that we teach our clients about how you feel. But the most important question is, how do I feel? How do I feel when I'm with him? Right? Do I feel cherished? Do I feel safe? Do I feel secure? Do I feel excited? Do I want to see him again?
Yes.
Not so much pressure, like, do I see my families? Do I see children and all that kind of stuff? That may be too much pressure, but just how do I feel? And you want to have a solid feeling. So like Laura mentioned, when we first got together, I was dating. But quickly I went from talking to Laura on Monday to talking with this other woman on Wednesday. And I realized, like, I'm nowhere near as excited about this other woman as I am about Laura. So that was bye-bye. Now, I didn't just ghost. There was no term for that back then, but I didn't just disappear.
This was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
By the way, we've been together for almost 18 years now. So starting in June, it'll be 18 years. So we've been married for 17 years.
So this is
a little while ago.
A little while ago. I'm not going to say it's not pre-internet, but it was definitely iPhone. You know?
Yes.
So it's a while ago.
Before texting.
But you know what? We've been working and helping clients for 13 years, and so there's things that have changed, but certain things about the psyche of a man and a woman haven't changed. In fact, kind of education wonk and stuff, research, our brains haven't changed in like 10,000 years. So the same way that we think about men, about relationships, is kind of hardwired into us, and those things actually don't change. And so the idea is, God, I lost my train of thought.
I don't know, but I'm just like, I'm just gazing lovingly at him because he's so smart. I love it. He talks about the 10,000 years and everything. I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. She's the smart one in our family, so she's the doctor.
So you know what's pretty cool about this, like from me watching and all of us watching, is look what Laura does is she shows him appreciation. She gives him a compliment, and you saw his reaction. He went ear to ear in a smile, and he's like, yeah, that's my wife giving me a compliment.
Yeah. So
you can do that in the dating world. That doesn't have to happen when we're only married. That can happen when we're on a third date or a fourth date.
Absolutely.
And that was beautiful. Like, I started smiling because I'm like, look how amazing these two are. And let's just learn from their example, right?
Absolutely. You know, that brings to mind, there's an exercise we do in our advanced program. We have an advanced year-long program where we work with folks. And one of the exercises we do at one of the live weekend events is something called What's So Great About Men? And you can do it too. So, okay, I'm going to tell you what it is. So it's just an exercise of noticing, as a woman, when you're out there in the world, noticing these amazing men that are everywhere. Because I hear so many women, I'm sure you do too, Mike, I hear so many women telling me, oh, there's no good men around. I can't find any good men. You know what? Your eyes aren't open. There are guys, I mean, the lens through, like if you had sunglasses on, you're looking through the wrong sunglasses. Take those off and put on What's So Great About Men sunglasses. So when you're out there in the world, notice when a man opens a door for you or opens it for somebody else. Notice the man helping his wife get out of the car, or the older or younger. I'm not talking about just looking for men that you're attracted to. I'm just talking about noticing the good men around. And when a man opens a door for you to let you into, a store or something, thank him and acknowledge him. And you know what I love to do? Because I know it makes men's days and it makes my day. I compliment them. If a man opens a door for me, I say, thank you. Chivalry's not dead. This is awesome. And I say it in a warm way. And I see the man just kind of puff up his chest, and he's like, that's right, and it was so awesome, and it makes him feel good, and it makes me feel good, and it's not flirtation, it's just kindness and noticing what's so great about men. It's a great exercise. It raises your vibration, lifts up the vibration of the men around you. It's really, really great exercise.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it does two things. You get the guy, you reinforce good behavior. So now the man's all excited to hold doors for women all day. Like, he might just stay there and just be like, I got it. I got it. No problem. And then the second piece is women. Oh, wait, what was my second piece? Oh, man, I'm having a Johnny moment for a second.
Well, it's good for women. It's good for women. Dude, like when I do that, when I acknowledge a man for opening the door, using that example, it makes me feel good, and it reminds me there are great men out there, and it really warms my heart, because I hear so much negativity out there that I have to be reminded, and I teach this stuff. Like, there's some great guys, and I keep my eyes open for any opportunity to authentically, this is very important, authentically compliment or acknowledge them for what they do for us.
Yeah. And it's not saying that every guy is a great guy.
Right.
But we make up stories in our minds about people that we see, and very often those stories are negative.
Yeah.
And so the idea is to start to shift that so that your stories that you're making up, where you don't really know the full story anyway, is more positive. Because what does it harm anybody? It doesn't harm anybody. It actually helps you to make up a positive story. And then when you see some behavior that's clearly positive, and noticing it, pausing, articulating it, that helps you be a place where a man feels lifted up to be in your presence. And men can feel that. Now, we're not quite so like able to say exactly what it is, but when we're with a woman who's positive and actually has positive thoughts and feelings about men, we go, I don't know, I just want to be with her more. And that's the thing that's drawing in of a woman who's like being her own soulmate first, who's like a positive place for a man, a healthy man, right? Yes. The knucklehead guys, the guys who are like unhealthy, the guys who are players, they're not drawn to that. They're drawn to women that are confused, that are feeling victimized, that are feeling like it's all of their circumstances. They're drawn to those women. But a woman who values herself, who sees herself as the prize, that woman is going to draw in a healthy masculine man. And if he's interested in you, you're going to be able to have some fun in that dance in a way that you're just not able to do when you're focused on what's so wrong about men, what's so bad about men, stuff like that. There's bad things about men and women. There's bad things about everyone. But what are we focused on? And then how can we practice focusing on the thing that will draw to us what we want more? And this is what we teach our clients in our courses and programs is being that place where you're actually drawing in the positiveness that you want. Like you said, reinforcing certain behavior, but it's also just drawing out what's already there. But a lot of people are treating each other unkindly, and it's like drawing out the worst, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. That was beautiful. All right, let's shift gears entirely.
Okay.
Let's talk about my favorite topic, women.
Go for it.
The sexiest quality that a woman can have?
You know, what I would say is number one is confidence. Number two is compassion. And here's the thing, the compassion starts with herself, right? If she's putting herself down, if she's speaking badly about herself or other people, that's just not that attractive. If she's speaking badly about her life, complaining about her life, you know, stuff like that. So confidence, compassion, and clarity about what she wants. You know, like I mentioned earlier about like for a woman to know that she's the prize, right? So you're not the prize because you say you're the prize. You're the prize because you treat yourself like the prize. Like Laura mentioned how.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
Just breathe that in. Let's all breathe that in. That's such wisdom that he just said there. Say that again, please.
Oh, you're not prize. As a woman. You're not the prize because you say you're the prize. You're the prize because you treat yourself like the prize, like your actions line up. Yes. Remember what we started with here, which is how do you tell a good quality man? He does what he says he's going to do. In other words, his actions and his words line up. Well, the same thing with you. Are you treating yourself badly and expecting a man to treat you well? That's not going to go together. Are you treating yourself like McDonald's and Walmart, but you're expecting, you know, the Four Seasons and whatever, you know, Nordstrom's? It's just not going to match up. So like Laura mentioned about investing.
Do that. How did she treat herself like the prize?
Investing time, energy, and resources in herself and in her growth and in her dreams. Yes. So a lot of times women think it's what I do for him. And that's actually not the most attractive thing, because what is it that a lot of times in this society, you're encouraged to think that what you bring to the table as a woman? What do you bring? You bring beauty, you bring sex, you bring cooking. He can get sex anywhere. He can get cooking anywhere. He can get beauty anywhere. What he can't get is a woman who treats herself like a queen and then looks at him and says, and this is my man. And that makes him feel like a king. And you mentioned it earlier, how Laura looks at me and compliments me and stuff like that. She takes care of herself. And that, you know, frankly, I take credit for that. I didn't even do anything, and she looks gorgeous. I'm like, you see, I must be freaking awesome. Look at this amazing woman. And she's married to me. You know, for almost 2 decades, she's married to me. She's chosen me. So that's a reflection on me. And so, so that's how, so treating yourself like the prize is you take time to think about what is it you want in your life, and then your actions line up with that, right? So you want to be in a relationship. Is that just like on the fringe side of your life after you do the important stuff? I was going to say important shit, but are we not supposed to curse here? So
what we got to do?
Yeah. So that's, it's what is the important shit in your life? And does your checkbook, your credit card, your calendar, does that reflect that? Or are you putting what you say is important to like the squeezing on the side? Like, I don't have time to invest in my love life, but I'm going to say it's important. I don't have time to learn about men and relationships, beliefs, behaviors. I don't have time to understand what a healthy relationship is, but I want one. I don't have money to invest in making my relationship great. I'm going to do what most people do, which is invest zero in my relationship and hope that, the heavens open up and just magically, like an asteroid falls out the sky on me. And we don't do that in anything else in our life, right? I'm a lawyer. I didn't say, I want to be a lawyer and put up a poster and wish for it. I had to work for it and go to school and pay money and study and all that stuff. She's a doctor. She didn't just say, oh, that would be nice to be a doctor. She had to work for it. It's the same thing in love and relationships. You absolutely can get into a relationship just wandering into it. But the question is that going to be the type of relationship that is going to last and is going to be the type of relationship that's worthy of you?
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they're wandering into a relationship and they're going, why didn't this work out? Well, it's like if you just wander into a store and just start randomly buying shit, it may not be as good as if you actually think about what is it you actually want, go to the right store for what you want. And so that's where putting conscious thought, and that takes time. And so that's treating yourself like the prize. Like your dreams that are inside of you, they matter.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what society says. Society's telling you it's what you make, it's your production, it's whether you have a big fancy house. No, it's what's inside of you that matters. The 5 biggest regrets of the dying, none of them are, I wish I had a bigger house. None of them are, I wish I had done that project better at work. What all of them are is about love and relationships. So if your schedule, your calendar, your checkbook, your bank balance, all that stuff isn't devoted to the thing that is the number one most important thing that people on their deathbed say, well, then you can't be shocked that it's not working out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to give you who's watching here some takeaways. So about what's so great about men. You have that practice that you're going to do now, right? When you're out there in the world, just start noticing what's so great about men. It's such a great practice. And you realize that as the prize, since you are the prize, not the man, not that men can't be prizes, but you're the prize. Like really focusing on you. So how do you ask that great question, Mike, about how do you treat yourself like the prize? And so he was talking about that. You're investing time, energy, and resources in yourself, in growing yourself. I'm not just talking about mani-pedis, and I'm not just talking about getting your hair done or highlighted and makeovers. That's a nice thing, but that's not everything. I'm talking about growing yourself from the inside out. And that's what we call being a student of love, is that you have this mindset of growth and expansion and evolving yourself and learning more about yourself, learning more about men, learning more about love and relationships. So when you actually show up in front of a man dating him, you actually know more about who you are. You have become your own soulmate first. So the next thing, that's just another takeaway here that you can do, is you can do something that we call, ready for this, oxytocin producing activities. I'm not going to get all into the science of that. We call them OPAs for short. So I've done a lot of research about this. I love brain science type of stuff. But a way to treat yourself like a prize is to do oxytocin producing activities. So you want to produce, there's a chemical in your brain that actually gets produced when you treat yourself like the prize. So you want to do that. So even if you don't feel quite like you're the prize, start treating yourself as if you were. So what does that mean? Get out with your positive girlfriends. Like, I'm talking about the girlfriends who always got your back. They're not negative about you or about men. Do things with them. Have a nice square of good quality organic dark chocolate every day. This stimulates oxytocin. It's your connecting hormone in your body. Makes you feel really relaxed. Get out and garden. Go out. Anytime you're out in nature, you're raising your oxytocin. So good for you. Investing in what Johnny was just talking about, investing the time, energy, and resources in yourself, that in itself is a huge oxytocin producing activity.
And, Laura also mentioned getting together with other women. This is so important. This is why all of our course and program have a community aspect where you're actually getting together with other women, because when you're moving in the same direction as others and they're positive and they're lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down, that's going to produce more oxytocin. And then you're just naturally, effortlessly more attractive to healthy men.
Yes.
And so there's so many different things that Laura just mentioned, but doing OPAs and getting together with other women, not seeing each other as competition, but collaborating with one another is going to really be a game changer, because that helps you be able to move forward faster, because you're with friends and you're all like acknowledging this actually matters to me.
Right. And we can always tell when a woman is not doing oxytocin producing activities. Here's how she feels. She feels overwhelmed. She feels tired at the end of the day. She feels resentful toward the people around her, most specifically if she's dating somebody, her man, okay? She feels pissed at her boss. She feels like she's not being seen out there in the world, and she feels lonely. So that's a person who is not doing enough oxytocin-producing activities for themselves. And so that is a big, huge tip that can help you.
Oh, that was amazing. I want to put this all together. So I give out gold. You guys don't know about this, but I give out gold nuggets when there's really good advice. So I'm going to give you guys a gold nugget, and we're going to tie it all together and put it in a bow. Yeah, high five. Virtual high five, Johnny.
Right? There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Boop, boop. But here's what I love about this. So we got, what were they, OPAs? Did you OPAs? The oxytocin producing?
Mm-hmm.
So this is beautiful. A woman does OPAs, and then she feels amazing. She's smiling. She's glowing. And then what Johnny talked about 10 minutes ago was now the guy actually takes credit for her being happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so many women don't understand this. They're like, why is he taking credit for it? I'm not going to try to explain it, but I can promise you we are taking credit for your happiness.
Yes.
And you can have the credit. I don't care. See, the women, most of us women, we don't care about the credit. That's the beautiful synergistic relationship we have. We don't really care. If you want to have the credit, that's okay.
Yeah, as long as I'm happy, who cares, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But what's I think so magnificent about this is men always tell women, like, all we want to do is make you happy. And
Yes.
they're like, what do you mean? They're like, what? But it's so true. And the reason it's true is because we actually take credit for it. And
Yes.
that's why it's true.
Yeah.
So does that all make sense?
It doesn't make any sense, but it does. I don't understand why it's that way, but that is the way it is. Yes.
That is. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I always tell women, I'm like, so when we compliment women, we're like, oh, you're so beautiful, or you're so smart, or I love your hair today, I love that outfit. And the woman's like, oh, thank you. But we don't want those compliments. If we took you to a nice park and the sun is nice and you say, oh my God, it is the most beautiful day today, Johnny and I are like, yeah, we might as well have put the sun up there.
That's right. That's it. That's it. Hey, it was my idea to come out here.
Yeah.
And look at that smile on her face. Thank you very much. You're welcome. There you go.
I planned that date. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm good at this. I'm a love coach.
Right.
Like, no problem.
Right.
So that's the same thing about the OPAs. When she's happy, it's like, well, I built this life that she could be able to spend the money to go get her nails done or go have that garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was beautiful. All right, sorry. I digress.
That's
We'll keep
great.
moving.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, here's a good one for you guys. This is a tough one. It's like almost bonus round again. What is the fastest way to go from single to a committed relationship? And that's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
The fastest way to do it is, let's just talk about other areas of life, because other areas of life give us clues about what to do in the relationship area.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone is not in the shape that they want to be in, what's the fastest way to do it? Could you Google how to get in shape? Absolutely. Could you get a book on how to get in shape? Definitely. But what really is the fastest way? You go to your local gym, you look around at who's in the shape that you want to be in, and you go, can you coach me? How long have you been doing this? Oh, you've been doing this for 10 years, and you have a whole wall of people that you've been coaching and training and showing how to do this. I want to hire you to make me have what you have. Just tell me what to do. That's the fastest way to get in shape, right? Let's say you have a business and you are making whatever it is and you want to double your business. Great. Find someone who's got a business, who knows how they did it, and then say, hey, show me how to do what you did. So in the love arena, unfortunately, we have this weird idea that for that area, too often people think, no, I have to do nothing. That's the solution. Do nothing. Don't look at anybody. Don't do anything. Just wait for the asteroid to land on me. And if it doesn't, well, God must not love me or something. No, you look at people that have what you want and you say, what is it that you did to get in the shape that you're in, basically to be in the position that you're in to have this great relationship? And how can you show me how to do it? That's how we started our love coaching, was when Laura had a chiropractic office. She's a clinic director, and her patients asked her, and I was working there too as the receptionist, holding our daughter, answering the phone, and then to the business manager. And she just, her patients started asking her, you guys are together all the time. You're clearly so happy and in love. How did you find this guy? And Laura said, oh, I was very conscious and intentional in attracting him to me. And they're like, really? Tell me about that. And then they started talking more and more about that, and they weren't talking about the chiropractic care at all, and stuff like that. Well, this is the thing, is that you find somebody who has what you want, and you go, can you help me with that? Mm-hmm. Can you help me have that thing? Same thing you would do in fitness, same thing you would do in business, same thing you do in anything. You wanna, climb the corporate ladder. Don't ask the janitor. Ask the person who's got the corner office.
Be nice to the janitor.
Be nice to the janitor, right? But don't ask them, how do I get the corner office? Because they don't know. It doesn't mean they're not a nice person. They just don't know, right? But you ask the person who actually is in the corner office, who knows how they got there. Not that, their daddy gave it to them, but they actually know how they got there. And then say, can you show me how to do that? Can you mentor me? Can you coach me? Can you guide me? So I can avoid some of the mistakes, because everybody's making mistakes all the time. You just don't have enough time to make all the mistakes yourself. And you get no extra points for doing it the hard way. So you ask, the fastest way is to get somebody to fast track you there, or like in our case, two somebodies to fast track you there, to avoid some of the mistakes and do what everybody does. I'm a big basketball fan. Steph Curry is one of, if not the greatest basketball player in the world. He's got coaches. And he has had coaches every step of the way. Even though he grew up in a basketball family and is very talented, he still has people coaching him and guiding him and helping him, because he wants to be the best that he can be. And so if you want your relationship to be the best that you can be, get some guidance, get some coaching, get some help. And the more you get, the faster you'll go. It's very simple. And it's not like that's magic that only applies in relationships. It applies in every area, but people think that somehow that doesn't apply here. But smart people go, oh, wait, I want to be successful. And so I want to do what successful people do. And so that's the magic formula.
Absolutely. I love that. Lara.
Yes.
What do you got to add on this topic?
Okay, well, this is what I did.
Yeah.
What Johnny's talking about really getting somebody to help me. I had mentors. I paid money. I actually invested in myself. I invested time, energy, and money in learning about myself. What I talked about being a student of love there earlier, that's what I did. I became a student of love. And I learned more about myself. I learned about relationships. I learned more about men and like how they think, because I don't know about you ladies who are watching here, but men are kind of like a mystery. Like this, I know you guys say these things like you're saying, and I teach this stuff, and sometimes I'm like, wow, you're just so different than us. So I had to learn, and I had, just learn about men and how they think, and then actually learn about healthy relationships. And then I had to actually, hire somebody who actually knew about how to consciously and intentionally attract their soulmate, actually and look at them as a role model. Actually, I'm a big believer in like when I was a chiropractic student, I clung on to the professor. Show me how to do this. Show me how to be a great chiropractor. Then when I got out of chiropractic school, I didn't pretend like I knew everything, because I certainly didn't. Then I got mentors to coach me and to help me become the best chiropractor I could be. And that's what I did. And I invested time, energy, and money in that. And through modeling, through having that, like I could just almost like absorb their, you know, their expertise. Through all of that, that was like not that much later, I met Johnny.
I got to go backwards a little bit. I've been dying to know this. So when men disappear, I know it's a good idea to do some OPAs, so the oxytocin producing things. What else can women do when a man, okay, so let me frame this. So you're in a relationship, you've been dating, even let's say Johnny, let's use Johnny. You guys have been married for a while, and Johnny just needs to go in his man cave. He needs to go do his thing. Mm-hmm. And you're like, man, I miss Johnny. I wish I could talk to him, but he's not in the place right now. What do you need to do so that this happens?
Oh, if he needs that space, then somehow what I have come to believe after 17 years of marriage is that if he's needing that space, I'm needing that space. That's actually a really, really, I'm grateful to him for saying, Laura, I need to go into my cave for a little bit. Because then I'm like, okay, I need to go into my little woman cave for a little bit too. And so that looks different than what his looks like. And so I just thank him for being an amazing mirror for me. And like, oh, great. I'm not the kind of person, and I don't recommend any woman be like, oh, you want to go in your cave, and oh no, and like, don't go. That's not healthy. That's not going to support the relationship. It's not going to help him. Because actually when a man is going into his cave, what he needs to do is he needs to rebuild his testosterone. Now, again, we're getting into brain science here. And so he's actually rebuilding his testosterone by doing that. And that's a good thing. We want our men with healthy levels of testosterone, because it affects everything that they do, including your sex life. So you want everything to be, I'm blushing. You want everything working. Everything working. And so it's good for him. And then when I go into my woman cave, so to speak, which looks different than his, my oxytocin can raise. And then when we come back out of our, respective caves, we're, happy to see each other.
Yeah. I love that. All right, guys, this has been one of the best interviews of my life. I enjoyed it so much. Johnny, talk to me. I know you guys are giving away something incredible for free, and I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on it, because I know you guys put so much time and effort into building this stuff, and you guys have great products. So, guys, get down there, go in the info, and you are going to get your hands on a link to something free. Johnny, talk to me about all this awesome stuff you got for our people.
So this is actually something very limited. So I know that I'm going to say right now, if you're watching this right now, like when Mike is publishing this, it's available right now. And it's Men of Quality Do Exist. It's a 4-part video series where I interviewed awesome men that we know personally to be men of quality, single, married, in partnership, all stripes, all, whatever, ages, ranges, colors, whatever, all nationalities, but really good men of quality, and to ask them some deep questions that women have been asking and wondering about. Well, for the married men, well, what attracted you to her? And a lot of the answers are not what you think. And then for the single men, what are you looking for in a woman? And they just kind of poured out their hearts. And in that, we also taught stuff. We taught like the 5 whopping mistakes that a lot of people make in love, and Laura breaks that down and explains it. The 3 keys to compatibility in a powerful relationship. A lot of different things, but it's a free video series. It's called Men of Quality Do Exist, because we heard for so many years, like, are there any even men of quality out there? So it's like, yes, they do exist, and here we brought them to you. And so, and then we also taught. So it's like a mini course, and it's available for free for 1 week only. Now, if you happen to see this video after the week, I'm so sorry. We only open it up for 1 week all year. But if it's past that week, we're going to have something else that's really awesome. It's like a revolving door of awesomeness for you, but it just won't be the Men of Quality Do Exist. But if you're watching this now, get it now, because you can get in on it, and then the whole thing disappears in a week. So Men of Quality Do Exist. and seeing it and having the 4-part video series. And it's not like an Insta story. It's actually in-depth teaching for a period of time. And you want to give yourself the opportunity to watch all 4 of the videos, take notes. We have a handout for you, stuff like that. It's going to be really, really powerful. And we've been sharing this for years, 1 time a year, and this is the time. So if you're here now, lucky you.
So I just got to include one thing that I love about Johnny since I've met him, is he's like me when it comes to putting out products. He never puts anything out unless he's tested it and has determined that the thing really freaking works. Yes. So no matter what that thing is, don't worry, the new thing that's on this link, go get your hands on it because he tested the crap out of it, just like I do. I'm crazy. I only put things out that works 97.5% of the time or higher. Mm-hmm. And he is just like me, and that's why we get along.
Definitely.
We are like perfectionists getting people results.
Definitely.
So it's free. Get your hands on it. Johnny and Lara, best interview. I loved it. You guys rock. Thank you so much. Guys, we will see you for every Tuesday. We're going to have another video. So make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, hit share, and we will get you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Mike.